look back to 3 decades. Look at Shadi Adu when he's singing. Look at Whitney Houston when he's singing. Look at Celine Dion when they're singing. Look at the girls we have now when they sing. Look at how they dress back then and how they dress now. Because there's nothing in this culture in America that creates that thing that is wrong. It is us from Africa that feel like there's some things I can't do in front of my dad or my mom. Do you think Burna Boy has something to do and Wizkid when they run away from Diddy? You know, there was a time they're close and the video is out there when Diddy squeezed Burna like, yeah. But then after 1 Grammy, everybody, do you think something has to do with that? You are very fanatic of Burna.
Let me give you the answer.
Oh yeah, that's why I push you there. Yeah.
From the words of Burna.
Okay now, oh yeah now.
I know they fear to fuck check right? One, two. We're back like we never left.
Yes, sir.
What's up? How you doing, my guy?
I do.
We have one and only.
No, which one and only? I live down. We do the day every time. There's no one and only. There's so many.
The Baba of Baba.
There's so many, bro.
Welcome. How you doing, my G? Collect.
Producer don't hang us for the chair, so we got to sit down like this. But it's this what it is.
So what's going on, my G? How's your week? How's your day?
I did. Correct. It's been going great. We thank God we're in Houston. Live.
Man.
Shout out to anybody. Yeah, you already know. We're about to, Big Vic. It's up to you now. Yeah, which one are we talking about today? Let's get on to,
You know how we You know how we talk about city hot?
Yes, now.
You know, as it's getting hot and hot. Let's just get to it.
And I think 2024 is becoming hot, and it's just everything is happening around 2024, man. It started with March, but
started with Carl Williams.
Yeah, it shook the world. It said things. It brought podcast shit to the world, and everybody was still downplaying it when it happened then. And unfortunately, I think right now there's nothing downplaying. It's like, wow.
This is crazy.
It's like,
All right, let's talk about Diddy, bro. Yeah. What's going on? So what does this new P.Diddy video mean for hip hop and the controversy?
The oil.
Everything.
First of all, shout out to Americans, man. It's the oil, man. If it's Nigeria, we'll have make about that thing right now. Nigeria will have make movies. They will have make content.
Even a song.
I don't even know why they haven't make oil something. We're waiting for
Afrobeat.
Somebody will rap about it to Diddy oil. Sorry, allegedly, actually. But the main thing, let's get back to the main.
I don't think that was, though. That was fact. That they saw the whole 1,000 bottles. Like, what's going on?
With the exposure and knowledge that I have, there's some things I don't want to go too much into. So I'm gonna let it slide. Allegedly, we don't know, but they put it out there. No, I take that back. Yes, it's out there. That's what they said. But I remember for anybody that might follow us, we did when the first video came out about Cassie, right? Yeah, we did an episode where we expressed ourselves, and I remember I did tell you something. I said personally to me, at the later time I've been an entrepreneur, I realized settling. Even though I remember me and you were talking that you're like, that's the only thing he has because of what they have against him and the videos, and I'm like, yeah, but there's a better way you could do things because there's a lot of relationship that happened between him and Cassie. I remember when the video of BET, when I think that was 2 years ago, when he was explaining and apologizing when he was in a dark world. Remember, P.Diddy did say it was in a dark time. Like there was a dark moment in my life where things was going wrong. And he didn't mention a lot of names. I remember there was R. Kelly, he mentioned his mom. But back to this current video, what I will first of all say is, I think for black people, and I'm using this as coming from Nigeria. I've been here for a while, talking to a lot of African American. There's some things they don't have that they don't know until you engage them that you found out. A lot of
can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So
what do you mean?
there's a line in Jay-Z's song in album 44. It was talking about his family, about his mom.
44.
Yeah, thank you. It was talking about his mom, it was talking about his dad, and some things that happen in common American home. I think that is something that create a gap that we have in a lot of celebrities now in the world, in the black community, that they don't have a role model. And when I mean a role model is what we're talking about P.Diddy today, we don't have anybody that have done it before. I did a review a couple of days ago when I was talking about, there was O.J. Simpson. There was, what's his name? Bill Cosby. Yeah, and there was R. Kelly. And there was, I'm mentioning this name, I want you to go back and just look at their story. in America, and there's Michael Jackson. You know, there was a time Michael Jackson had the issue about
molestation.
Yes. So I'm saying this to say all these things are becoming what we can learn from. Unfortunately, it happens. But before them, we don't have anybody to reference. And I think all these people are having fame, money, in the sense that nobody to tell them what is wrong. For us from Africa, there's some things we just value as raw thing that people will tell you. In America, being here for a while, the case about P.Diddy, in most, even though people might not want to say it, in most American world, I think it's a common thing, but people won't talk. I mean, the oil, whatever happened behind the closed door, is something that half of American knows about. It's nothing so big deal. I'm not talking about the other things, because there's a lot of allegedly, there's a lot of FBI haven't come out to say things. But as me, I'm not talking for anybody else. My opinion is Diddy is in a case where it's more than what we all can say, because we don't know everything. But basically on what we know, I just got to say they should pray for him personally, to be watched on his mental state, actually, because I don't care how strong it might be. This is a lot. 2 years ago, everybody was celebrating, I think 2 or 4 years ago, when they were celebrating his 50th birthday. The world was celebrating him, the hip hop. Now, everybody's silent. We haven't heard anybody really vouching and talking on his behalf, even though he might have done wrong. There's another question. Do they know what they don't know? So there's another one. How many names? Because we know those oils can be used by one person. Think about it. If there's an oil of 1,000 pieces, that's not used by P.Diddy. That's multiple people. So in the allegedly of saying maybe there's child trafficking and stuff like that going on, who are the names that are going to pop up? Is there going to be any name? So that's why I mentioned O.J. Simpson. It was a big one in America. Everybody was like, how is it going to go? Michael Jackson was a big one. Cosby was a big one. So these are names how we play in the history of black race, music, entertainment. I think Diddy one is bigger than the one we've seen in the past, especially that there's an evidence we all can see, the oil. And now they said in America, having that multiple of oil in the house is a crime.
To add to the oil part too, just think about the cameras too. Like, remember they haven't played us the camera.
Right, we don't know. I'm basically talking on the one that knows fact. The oil has become fact. All the TV stations put it out there. We haven't seen the camera of what is going on. But apparently, to summarize everything I said, I intentionally bring you back for people that might not have been able to know those names. It's good to read about O.J. Simpson. I won't go too much. Jay-Z put it in the song. It's right there. So if you're really somebody that really listen to hip hop or entertainment, there's a lot of dots everywhere. And people are saying it's come about Tupac. We don't know how that's gonna play out. Maybe he's involved or he's not involved. There's been a lot of allegedly saying, they put $1 million down, and there's allegedly saying,
even Biggie,
Drake,
even Biggie too.
Yeah, even Biggie.
I'm hearing some other like some crazy stuff coming out with that. Yes. So it's like
that they feel like it was so. If it's all this thing is true, one thing I would say is I've been around a couple of Americans that there's a lot of things we think these people know they don't know.
Do you feel like this is karma, or do you feel like they just want to bring another black man down somehow, some way? What do you think?
Thank you for asking me this question. So there's a line that comes to the question, that I'll put it out there. Every time you want to make it, or you're in the pursuit of making it as a black man, anyway you might be listening to this, be careful of how you sell your people. And be careful of how you deal with them, especially when you're dealing with colored people or white people. And when I use the word white people, I don't mean like white people, Caucasian. I mean like when in America, black people feel like once you become too corporate, there's a way we look at you. When Jay-Z start putting suits, there's a way they believe you belong now. So I wanted to follow that, but like there's a way you're projecting yourself. There's a way everybody feel like you are. So
are you saying something wrong with that, or
no? I'm saying the perception
of people.
Okay. But now, from the allegedly and the rumor that's going on around Diddy, I'm saying that again. Like when you're going up, be careful of how you're selling people out and how you deal with them, because when that time comes, those are the people that will stay with you. And now, unfortunately, it encroached into that same thing I'm saying. Like, how many role models do black people have in America that you know? Sport, music, education. Now, unfortunately, in sport, and in music, everything we listen to music is more that even most of the podcast content show we're looking at in America. Does it represent us to feel like everything will end up like that P.Diddy we're watching? I've watched show where girls are fighting and somebody sponsor it. You get what I'm saying? So if that's happening,
that's all for the click though. They worried about the
but if you worry for the clicks,
they worry for the bread.
But then you're putting it out for some people to believe in it. And if a child is watching that today, that's what it's gonna become. And that goes back to P.Diddy too. Because I'm saying, how many role models do we have like this Diddy back in his days? We don't. What's this guy that's in jail now? That was working with in New York. What's this big name? Drake and Kanye West. They were saying free. What's his name? Is it Mitch? There was a show. I don't know. I lost it. There was a big show that Drake and Kanye West did that J Prince made it happen.
Larry Hoover.
Yeah. So Larry Hoover. Those names are the names they know. Look at, I'm not saying it's bad. So the role model we have, P.Diddy is just going to be an example that people will start becoming worried about, saying, okay, if you're living this freaky life, be careful. And, there's thousands of videos I've been talking about this freaky party.
Freak off.
Yeah, freak offs has been there. So personally for me, I just feel like American is not the way it is 10 years ago. When in the black community, there's a lot of Africans that are popping in now than before. I'm not even saying Nigerians. There are a lot of Africans. And I feel like we're intertwining with ourselves. And it will be a good thing when we can start stretching our hands. I'm saying it to all Africans, to start stretching our hands to the black community in America, because there's a lot of black people that they just don't have it. And what do you expect of those people actually? They can only do what they know. And what they know is the only way until somebody has to tell them that what you're doing is wrong. Even though you want to tell them, if it's somebody that's so big, you won't be able to even confront them unless you're that confident enough to tell them like, bro, I think how you're moving is wrong. Little Rod Jones might have been the one to, people might black mainly, but he was the only one I feel like I want to say this.
Blackball him, I think, in a lot of cases. And I think he spoke out.
And people downplay that thing a lot. You get what I'm saying? Wow. So it is not about what it's even do for me. It's about saying the problem that's going on in the black community, in the music industry. Things that we downplay thinking is something. I've seen a lot of rappers in America that even Meek Mill said it when he clocked 30 years old. I remember the video I watched them. We say like, I never thought I would make it 30, and I'm in a private jet right now living my life. So them being in that world of something they don't expect sometimes, and there's no rumor that makes them understand that this thing is bad. They're just gonna do it. And what is that girl named too that was dating, allegedly that was dating Diddy? You can see the kind of podcast they have.
Cassie?
No, it's not Cassie.
Carisha.
Yeah, Carisha. The podcast that talk about saying somebody pee in your mouth. Like, they comfortably put all these things out in the sense that they don't know it's wrong. They don't believe I don't think it's wrong in American culture, actually. System, way of life. For me, every time I see podcasts like that, I just feel like it doesn't put black people in the right place. Music, anything you want to call it. I don't care, but you can't blame them because there's nothing in this culture in America that creates that thing that is wrong. It is us from Africa that feel like there's some things I can't do in front of my dad or my mom. And unfortunately, we live in a time where everybody's doing it for the clicks. So they don't care the side effects of the clicks. They're only worried about the numbers they can make. And that's why you see most of the music. If you look, I'll give you now, look back to 3 decades. Look at Shadi Adu when he's singing. Look at Whitney Houston when he's singing. Look at Celine Dion when they're singing. Look at the girls we have now when they sing. Look at how they dress back then and how they dress now. It's even like you watch the sexual parts than the music. You get what I'm going. So I'm bringing all this thing to say, every time you want to blame or you want to lay your hand, I'm not saying like Diddy is right.
Fingers and everything.
But always remember that it's a time for every black people to start having that thought of like, okay, what can I do different? Diddy is going to become an example to learn from. Michael Jackson case, nobody could really prove it. Michael Jackson settled. Cosby was a law that was old. People were like 30 years that was coming to accuse him. So you get what I'm saying? But Diddy on his clothes. Like, it's not something they're still doing the Africa of couple of, you get what I'm saying? It's not long. It's something they still enjoy and they brag about it. And they never hide it. But now, I feel like it's a crime in America and we still don't know how it's going to play out. So for me, it's a wake-up call for black people. It's a wake-up for Africans. As much as you want to keep join people to banter on Diddy, unfortunately, whatever I might have done, coming back, I don't know, only God knows. Even though he's been acquitted right now, like anything that goes, the trauma of everything is much for a man.
Yeah, now it's suicide watch and
and you know it's being put for me as a black man in America. You know, when R. Kelly happened, it wasn't too long. Everybody thought it was, you know, but now we have Diddy. Nobody's even going to talk about R. Kelly anymore. It's more about Diddy now. And I'm going to put this, remember there was a case too that it kind of, I don't know how it ends, about T.I. and his wife, about some, you know, some women trying to, so it's something that is happening in I'm just saying like in black communities that is normal to me. What I've seen them, I've been in, you know, in the midst of things that people talk about. So seeing it now, it's a way to now start saying the world is not the way it is in 1991. Things people do, I feel like it's cool. I think it's changing.
I feel like what they do back then, they can't get away with it right now.
Yeah, and the world is becoming where everybody can pick your phone and record you. Don't even know. You understand what I'm saying? Like in 20s, 30s, back, nobody, there's not even phone. Now, somebody could record you and send it to somebody in Russia. So I think it's a wake-up call, but in your own view generally about this, as an African, living in America, what is your own view? If somebody asks you about, oh, you know, this Diddy case is going on, what is your own view generally? What perspective do you give it? How does you make you feel? If somebody asks you, let's say our Pekin come in the next 20 years, they ask about Diddy, how do you think?
I mean, my take, I can't say anything right now because we're still waiting for the whole. I feel like there's more to.
Do you think it's going to affect hip hop?
I think not really. I mean, it's gonna, whether we like it or not, there's a lot of people that really don't really like fuck with Diddy in that, you know. So, and this is a big top guns, you know, in the music industry. So, whatever reason, we don't know, but I feel like there's more to the story. I can't just say something now. I'll wait for more evidence to come out. That's my take. But just from the little that we know, I think it's just crazy. Like it's
what would you advise people that are close to Diddy to do?
Just pray for him, man. Just pray. Like, you know, just pray for him and just be there for the kids. You know, be there for the kids, because mental health is not something to play with.
Especially in America.
For and the kids.
Generally in America.
Let's put Diddy on the side, but the kids, bro. Like, got 7 kids. You know, so.
But I think they'll be good though. You know, I think he moved all his business before all these things happened.
Yeah, but that's financially, but mentally though, the shame, the disgrace, you know, just the constant. Yo, my dad was this, bro, and now I go on the street, everybody look at me funny. Like I go to parties, I talk with my friends, and all they talk about is.
I hope the world doesn't see that, but you're right though. Right. That's.
So you gotta financially, yeah, you could buy it, but bro, you could still drive your Lambo and then get to the gas station to pump. Somebody in the gas is just gonna spit on your car, like, yo, your dad. You know what I'm saying? Like constantly, imagine. So that money is not even gonna help you at that situation, bro. Your mental health is more important than. So just those. That's what I think about. That's why I said my first thing is like, let's just pray. Let's just pray for the family.
I think personally for me, you know, there's some things people say. Behind the closed door conversation.
Right.
I think for me, the behind the closed door conversation that I will tell anybody that is close to him is just to they should take care of themselves too. Because a lot of homes are going to question themselves now. A lot of husbands going to ask their wife. A lot of wife. I think 50 Cent already accusing his baby mama that he wants to take his child from the baby mama, because I think the name is allegedly, they say the name is being mentioned in the list of people that go to the party. In Diddy's place. So for me, as a black person in America with this case, anybody that is close to Diddy as a family, start doing your own therapy, doing business with him, spending time with him, always being around him, because everybody gonna mock everybody now, in respect of whatever comes out, in respect of how the story end up coming out. We don't know the names that we might see. We don't know people that might end up being mentioned. They might not even mention anybody. We don't know. And I'm saying this to even Lil Roddy Jones for he has brought out a lot of things. I don't know how he too might be going through with this, because he's the one that makes us all these things to come out. Casey did his own quietly and he just let it go. But Lil Roddy Jones was like, nah, since this happened.
You keep calling her Casey. Poor Cassie.
Cassie. Don't mind me, I'm an African man.
Nothing to you, man.
Yeah, so like I said, I think for me, anybody that's close to him should, you know, when the Cassie case happened, you know, some people started talking about Diddy. Some staff started saying, yeah. So all those things for me as a black people is irrespective of what he might have done or how. we should be careful of how we banter about it online.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to have a side effect on everybody. When I said everybody, I don't mean like in a bad way. I mean in terms of the kind of story you want to talk about Diddy. When somebody asks you.
Well, that's for everybody though?
Diddy is not a name you can just rubbish in the music industry, in the sense that when they write history of hip hop, they won't mention his name.
Well, how does that affect everybody though?
As a black race, let me tell you one thing that I figured out, that this is personal to me. We're living in a time that AI store everything we're saying. And the more we banter AI storing everything, if you keep saying the bad thing, just put in the next 100 years, all those things become those time people that are going to use as fact. AI is storing everything we type online now. If you can afford it, Grok on X can tell you everything everybody is saying on X. Like, you just ask Grok, like, what do you think they say about this person today? He will give you the right, he will give you the one, and he will tell, like, I don't support this, but so imagine how AI is already working. Imagine we keep saying everything about, man, this is that, he collect everything together. And the next 100 years, they want to Google about it. It's not like he doesn't do anything good. I don't say it's not bad, based on allegedly issue that's going with him. But personally, to me, everybody might not be this generation. Let me take that away. It might be the next couple of generation coming in terms of what he checked. Because now, back in the days, it's encyclopedia, but now we're using it online. I think that's all I have personally for me.
Well said, bro.
I pray for them, man.
Well said.
And anybody that is poking anything out there, if you are perfect, if you live in America, show your hand that your hand is clean, that you have not been nasty in your house. Tell us, unless you're not American. If you're an American, and if you're Nigerian that have dated America, you too, you've done small about the oil too. I don't care. Lie. If you're watching, tell me you haven't used the oil too.
That's what people get them for their bags.
But if you dated America, you used the oil before. Lie. Look at your woman face and say lie that you've never used oil. So I'm just saying, I don't think they said because it's a lot, but I know there's going to be a lot and everything is going to come out. So I wish them best of luck. It's a lesson for everybody, whatever it is out there. We're using Diddy as a lesson right now. I used to be like, okay, Diddy is somebody that, you know, it did say some things, but now with everything, Diddy cannot be a name you mention as a role model. Anyone say, so that's just for me, you know. That's just for me.
All right.
But I want to ask you this, and I want to put you on the line. It's intentional, so please. Do you think Burna Boy has something to do and Wizkid when they run away from Diddy? You know, there was a time they're close, and the video is out there when Diddy squeezed Burna like, yeah. But then after one Grammy, everybody. Do you think something has to do with that? You are very fanatic of Burna.
Let me give you the answer.
Oh yeah, that's why I push you there. Yeah.
From the words of Burna.
Okay now. Oh yeah now.
From the words of Burna. You want me to tell you that?
Burna must look for you.
Wait.
Oh yeah, tell me now. Make Burna get, because I feel like something like that.
From the words of Burna, I know they fear to fucking check right?
So you think it was for Diddy?
I just told you from the words of Burna.
But I think the song came out before.
No.
It was after he collected Grammy?
I know they fear to fuck check Okay
now.
This was when he was working with
after Diddy, the first album, right?
No. I'm gonna tell you. This was when Diddy was
working with him,
the executive producer, and this song and this specific line was in his second track, I think, or third. I'm not too sure. But Diddy was executive producing,
and he started the album too.
The album, and the name of the album was Twice as tall. So when I go listen to Ram, that's all I can tell you.
So you believe that line was for, and because after the album, they've never been close since then till date. They didn't talk about it.
I'm just telling you. I'm just quoting the word of Burna.
I don't know. I kind of agree with you, because as an African man,
bro,
the only people that have been close to him was Wizkid and Burna, and they moved back.
Let me make sure I quote that thing well, because I think I'm just.
I know there's something like Bakurukpa, but I'm not sure.
I just want to make sure I quote it well, because I don't want to just stay here and just.
You are Burna fan.
I just didn't tell you, my guy.
But don't worry. Let's save the fact of saying whatever. But do you think something like that happened? Because you know, Wizkid was the first one that was close to Diddy, and they make that kind of video too, and some kind of reason that didn't go through, and people are saying already, like, you know, we see me wearing the same clothes we did, so they feel like that went through. Were you thinking something like that happened or approach, even though you're quoting the song, or you're just going to use the song to answer?
I will use the song to answer.
Okay, you play the fifth.
Because then. You know why?
All right, now so
we just explain.
So the same like evidence. like no Bona used to say, you explain that no evidence. If you're listening to this particular episode, I hope we didn't bore you out. This is CTD Among Blacks. You can follow us and you can check us. We have a blog, and if you're a blogger that you would like to write, you can reach out to us on our email ctd@africanroot.com, and the African is gonna be K, not C. And you can follow us on Spotify. You can follow us on IAT Radio. You can follow us on Apple Podcast. You can follow us on, now we're live on Audio Mac as well. And the name you just got to type is CTD Among Blacks. You can follow us on YouTube. Definitely this episode is going to be out there. So if you're listening to us, you have any review, drop it for us. And if you feel like we've been able to trigger your mind that you have anything you want to share this video with family and friends, and join us on the next episode as me and Big Vic, a fan of Bonana, Olua Bona, the Odogo of Houston. We be live, and while we, kicking in with you by sharing our views about things happening in our world. Thank you. Till next episode, I say my name is Oyebanji Akins, and you can call me DJ O2 Fresh. You don't have to believe now, but keep doing what you believe, and definitely in the future, it's definitely going to make sense. And Big Vic.
Until next time, we say love, peace, as we continue to connect the dot.
Oh yeah, now.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Thank you.
We out. Deuces.